I recently shared with the Calvary family that I'm going to be transitioning out of my role here at Calvary as senior pastor and taking on the role of president of Johnny and Friends, a ministry nearby that ministers to people affected by disability all over the world. And I want to share a little bit about that journey and how Leslie and I got to this place. We've really wrestled with God because we weren't out looking for any opportunities. We didn't have a resume out. We thought God had us here for the rest of our ministry career, and we were looking forward to a season where Pastor Brian would become the senior pastor and I'd serve as the associate teaching pastor. And we were excited about that. And then God began to do something in our hearts when we were approached to consider that role at Johnny and Friends. And we wrestled with that before the Lord. There was nothing pushing us toward this. We didn't feel like we were being pushed by anyone or anything at Calvary to move on or to leave in any way. But there was this pull, because going back to my childhood, my mom dealt with physical and mental and emotional challenges and disabilities because of a car accident. And she really struggled on a daily basis and sometimes would have some breakdowns, and she had some physical limitations, and she just would get to a point where she'd be exhausted and she would just say, if Johnny can do it, so can I. She'd read Johnny's story, she'd seen the movie, she understood the journey that Johnny had been on as a quadriplegic and yet seeking to live her life fully for Christ. And it really inspired my mom. And it meant so much to me. So as Les and I were wrestling with this, it was about the pull to serve in this ministry. And even here at Calvary, as the Special Abilities Ministry has developed over the years, it's been near and dear to our hearts. And we've been a part of supporting Johnny and Friends. And so this was just an occasion where God began to draw our hearts and into this space of disability. And in this season of my ministry career, probably the last third, if you will, it's an opportunity to speak to the global church about disability ministry and how we can minister to those who are directly affected by special needs in their families. For Leslie and I, it's been difficult. We've been wrestling with God. And the other night, as Leslie and I were going to sleep, she said, this feels just like what we felt when we were in West Virginia Bible Center and God called us here at Calvary. It's so similar. We distinctly know it's God's call on our lives. One of the unique things that happened when I came into the office here at Calvary on September 15th, 2008, I walked into a big empty office. All my stuff was still in the moving truck, and sat down at my desk, and there was one little note card there. I opened it, not knowing that Johnny Erickson Tata's ministry was nearby. And I opened this envelope, and it was just a simple note that said, Dear Pastor Thornton, we've been praying for you. We've been concerned for Calvary Community Church and the season it's been in. It's an important church in our community, and we are so happy that you're there, and we're going to be praying for your ministry. And it said, Johnny Erickson Tata and Ken Tata. And I remember just sitting there thinking my mom, who'd gone to be with the Lord years earlier, and just sitting there with tears falling, my first day here, not knowing that Johnny was in this community. And then the opportunity to get to know her, to be a part of the ministry. I joined the board. And so the Lord has just opened this door for us that we didn't expect. And yet we deeply love the Calvary family and are excited that I'll have opportunities to teach here 6 to 8 times a year, to teach a class here as I'm able. And we're looking forward to that and staying in our small group, serving in the ministries that are dear to Leslie as well. We are excited about what God has for us. At the same time, we're mourning the move from the role we've had and the relationship we've had as senior pastor and wife here at Calvary. I just want to say thank you to the Calvary family for loving on me, my wife, and our family over these years. And we are so deeply grateful for these years of service here and the opportunity to be a part of this incredible church family, even as we go forward.